Greetings! I'm so happy you're with me today. We are working another psalm spell, and we are on Psalm 119, Tau. And we often use this one, the psalm, traditionally for receiving forgiveness when we have any transgressions or any mistakes that we've made that we want to be absolved of the negative consequences thereof and be forgiven. And we all have things like that, I'm sure. So we will work this together. The way we do this is very simple. We read the psalm through out loud once, and it's called an incantation. And then we search through the psalm, and we go line by line, and we dig until we can find some hidden meanings within each line. And by that searching and through the contemplation of those hidden meanings, we plant those thoughts like seeds deep in our mind. And they take root, and they grow, and they bear fruit after their own kind. So let's do this together today, shall we? So we're working Psalm 119, Tau. Let my cry come near before thee, O Lord. Give me understanding according to thy word. Let my supplication come before thee. Deliver me according to thy word. My lips shall utter praise when thou hast taught me thy statutes. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. Let thine hand help me, for I have chosen thy precepts. I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my delight. Let my soul live, and it shall praise thee, and let thy judgments help me. I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek thy servant, for I do not forget thy commandments. All right, let's look at these verses. It opens with, let thy cry come near before thee, O Lord. Give me understanding according to thy word. So the first thing we always have to do is determine very clearly in our mind who it is that we are addressing with these psalms. The Lord of the Psalms for us is the Godhead. This is pre-gender. This is not a deity, a god or a goddess that is separate from us. It is not an anthropomorphized experience of divinity. It is pure principle. It is the principle of life itself. And this principle is what is beating your heart at this moment. It is nearer to you than anything in your body. There are many qualities of God that we contemplate in order to find that awareness of our oneness with our source. And these are concepts such as, like we said, the principle of life, the principle of infinite divine love, the principle of infinite spirit, of infinite intelligence, of divine truth, of perfect love, etc. So that's who we're addressing. So let my cry come near before thee, O Lord. Our cry is the calling out. That's our desire to ask for help. So it's our asking of help. That we always have to make the first move, because God and all divine energy won't come in unbidden, because they won't they're not attacking. It's a loving force. So, but once we call and we cry out, then we get a response, because the nature of God is responsiveness. So let my cry come near before thee, O Lord. Give me understanding according to thy word. So give me understanding means let me understand things. Teach me according to your word. And the word of God is the will of God. It's the creative impulse of God. So understanding means understanding what we need to know, but it's also that which stands under us. That is spiritual substance. So give me spiritual substance. Give me all that I need in order to get this absolution, this freedom from any guilt, freedom from any transgressions, any mistakes in my past. I want to be freed from all the consequences of my past mistakes. Let my supplication come before thee. Deliver me according to thy word. Now, when the Psalms speak of supplications, we are speaking of our spell work, of that which we are coming to the Psalms to either heal, to correct, or to achieve. So this is what our goal, whatever our goal is that we've come to this psalm for. So let my supplication come before thee. So we're going to bring our desires to God rather than trying to figure them out ourselves. Deliver me according to thy word. So according to the will of God, God's will is to deliver us. So we are acknowledging that, and we want the deliverance that is our birthright. My lips shall utter praise when thou hast taught me thy statutes. So the poetic device used here, my lips shall utter praise when thou hast taught me thy statutes, means that the learning of the qualities of God, the understanding, the bringing in, the pulling in of the knowledge and the understanding of the qualities of God spontaneously makes us utter praise. Praise is acknowledging that something is good. So you know that you're connecting to the right qualities of God when your response is praise. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. So my tongue, that ability for me to communicate, shall speak of thy word. So it's not only our physical tongue and our physical voice and our way of making words with language. It also has to do with our ability to initiate communication with God and with our brothers and sisters of God. So my tongue shall speak of thy word. We're going to speak of the will of God. We only want the words in our mouth that are God's words. We don't want to use and misuse our words. We don't want to speak idly, and we have to watch what we say, because what we say tends toward manifestation. So my tongue shall speak of thy word, for thy commandments are righteousness. So we want to speak of that which is right, which is righteousness, right thinking, right acting, and all those causes which bring about the effects that we desire. And we want to let go of all those causes in our minds which bring about the effects that we don't desire. Let thine hand help me, for I have chosen thy precepts. The hand of God, simply remember what a hand is. A hand is that which gives utility, that which can mold and fashion. So let thy hand help me let the creative energy of the universe, out of which all things are created, help me personally, for I have chosen thy precepts. So when you align yourself with the creative will of God, then the creative will of God does that for us which we cannot do for ourselves. I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my delight. So I've longed for this. Anytime we feel anything less than perfection, it is our longing for salvation. It is our longing for the solving of whatever the problem is, or the realization of whatever the desire is. So the righteous desires of our hearts were put there by God. Everything else is just a temporary, fleeting lust. But you can bring it all to God, and God will separate it for you. You don't have to worry about knowing which desires are righteous and which desires aren't, because God will do that for you. Just bring them all to God. I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my delight. So you know that you're on the right beam if you are delighted. Your delight is in the law of God, which means that you understand how things work. You understand where cause is. You understand where effect is. You understand how power works. You understand the flow of power from the invisible to the visible, from the internal to the external. And you understand that everything external that is in the world of effect is not causative. So if there's something in the world of the effect that we don't want, then we have to look back to the precepts of God. So that is our delight when we understand that law. Let my soul live, and it shall praise thee. So let my soul live. Well, of course, God's going to let your soul live. That's another poetic device, meaning help me to stop thwarting my life. Help me to stop thwarting that experience of living fully. So help me, and I shall praise thee. And it's through the praise of these precepts that our soul is set free, so it can live to its fullest. Seek thy servant. So God, please seek us. So to the degree which we are seeking God, that degree God is seeking us. So the nature of God is responsiveness. It's important to remember that it only takes a small amount of willingness on our part for everything to be set in the right motion for our deliverance. Let my soul live, and it shall praise thee. And let thy judgments help me. Of course, the judgments of God will help us because God judges rightly. God's in the vantage point to not be fooled by the ego, because God doesn't see the ego. God doesn't see things that are illusory in this world. God only sees the truth, only knows the truth. And therefore, God judges by the truth. God judges us based on how we are created. And we remain always as we were created. We can pretend that we're less than perfect. We can create all kinds of evidence to support that, and we can have lifetime after lifetime after lifetime of imperfection. But God doesn't see us that way. God sees us only as we were created. So we want God's judgment because God judges rightly. God judges who we are and why we're here according to God's will. I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek thy servant. So when a sheep is gone astray, a shepherd doesn't go, get over here, you piece of dirt. Come here, and start beating the crap out of it. Right? So the way the shepherd handles that is the shepherd always knows where the sheep are. And so when the sheep seems to be lost, the shepherd knows where the sheep is. The shepherd is very good at his job, knows where the sheep is, and gently brings the sheep back to the flock. So from the sheep's point of view, I was lost, I was out, and then, God found me, right? Well, from the point of view of God, you never really were that far away because you knew where you were the whole time, right? So I have gone astray like a lost sheep. Seek me, so help me, bring me back to where I'm supposed to be. For I do not forget thy commandments. I know where I'm supposed to be. I can't always find my way back, but I know you'll find my way back for me. And for that, we are very grateful. And so this psalm is a very powerful one when we uncover parts of ourselves that we feel guilty about, or that we feel like are less than perfect, that any kind of transgressions, any kind of mistakes that we've made that are causing us grievance and grief and bringing about consequences that are unsatisfying to us. Well, God doesn't want that. So we can take care of all of that just by working this kind of magic. All right, so I'm very grateful that you have been with me today. I can't wait to work together with you again very soon. And until that time, blessed be.